All right, guys, so I wanted to hop on here and give you just a quick little lesson summary for lesson 3-4 over different transformations that you guys just talked about. So this image right here is what we would call a translation. So translation just really means to slide the image without turning it. So a few things to note about when we slide to the right or to the left, and we slide up and down. Technically, you can slide diagonally, but when we're thinking about units, we always want to think about going to the right X amount of units and then going up or down X amount of units as well. So let's say that this was my original image. So I'm going to call this image A, and I translated it to image B. A few things to note about it. This point right here slid to the right, and then it slid up. And this point corresponds with my other purple dot, which you can kind of see a little bit. So purple corresponds with purple. So then you need to make sure that all corresponding pieces line up. For example, my yellow dot would correspond with this point right here, okay? And you would also notice that this like beak looking thing also matches up right there. So what I mean by that is that it doesn't flip, it doesn't turn, it stays the same direction, and all of your points move in the same direction, the same number of units. So the slide image, translation slides the image without turning it at all. So that is a translation. And then if we look at the next one, it's going to be a rotation. So a rotation is when we can turn the image clockwise or counterclockwise. And we typically will do 90 degree and 180 degree rotations, clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, so the main thing here to notice is that we have our center of rotation, which is the point that we rotate around. A way to think about it is the hands on a clock. They all rotate around the dot in the middle. So this point on my original image A, and here's image B, rotated all the way around to this image right there. So the beak now is right there. Now it went to over here. So when you look a little bit closer, that is what that would look like. And this would be a 180 degree rotation for this. And then you would also notice that this piece matches up with that piece up there, okay? So rotations are gonna literally spin the image and turn the image around and around either direction. And this is what we use patty paper with a lot, which is what we did earlier in the lesson. And we will also be using that in class as well. So that is a rotation. And then the last one is the reflection. So reflection, when we think about a reflection, the best way to think about it is when you look at yourself in the mirror, you are seeing a reflection of yourself. So with a line of reflection, we call it mirroring the shape with the line of reflection. So your line of reflection is what goes down the middle. So this right here is my line of reflection. You always have to have a line of reflection when you are doing a reflection. So if this were the original image A, this is B. Here's my beak. When I reflected it, I flipped it over that line of reflection, and now that point of the beak is right there, okay? What you also should notice is the distance from the line of reflection stays the same. So the distance from your line of reflection to this point right here should be the same as the distance from the line of reflection to its corresponding point right there. And the word corresponding just means the same point on both images. So this point in that corner is going to correspond with this piece. If I were to flip this and match them up, those yellow dots, which you can't really tell in the video, but those yellow dots would line up with each other. So that is what corresponding points are. Okay, so that was just a quick little lesson summary over the 3 types of transformations. We will be using those the rest of Unit 1, so get familiarized with them. These will be actually images that are posted up on the wall that will be there for the entire duration of the unit. So if you ever need a quick reminder, they will be there. So hope this helps you guys a little bit, and I will see you in class.